Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a new experience for me actually, talking to such a large number of professionals outside the medical profession. And I thank the office bearers of the Southern India Regional Council of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. When my good friend Mr. Babu Kaliwail asked me to give a talk on this, he put one condition. He knows that I am a technology-driven gastroenterologist, so he wanted me not to talk too much technology, too much techniques into this, give a general talk. And then there was no doubt about what I should talk about to a gathering of senior chartered accountants. I selected the topic of lifestyle diseases. And lifestyle diseases is now considered world over, especially in developing countries, as a new emerging epidemic. You know, diseases are of many types. You have congenital or hereditary diseases. You are born with that. As of today, there is nothing much we can do about it, but we are into molecular medicine and genomic medicine. And not far from now, we may be able to modify and control hereditary diseases. That is a great possibility. What modern medicine at present is dealing with are the acquired diseases. Among the acquired diseases, we have major share of infections. You know the infections of the various bodies, the typhoid, the pneumonia, the TB, the AIDS, the hepatitis, everything. And this is the area where modern medicine has excelled and has, by preventive vaccination, eliminated certain diseases from the face of the earth. For example, smallpox. We are working on HIV, the AIDS virus. We have now good medicines for hepatitis B, hepatitis C. So these are the acquired diseases, the infections. Then you have, of course, the cancers. That is another area where the medicine has advanced quite a bit. If you detect early, many cancers can be cured. But today what I'm going to talk to you about is a sort of man-made controllable epidemic, the so-called lifestyle diseases, the emerging epidemic. What are lifestyle diseases? Lifestyle diseases are those conditions usually attributed to dramatic shifts in the way humans live their lives. By changing our lifestyles, we acquire certain diseases. Look at what is in front of you. These are the main lifestyle diseases I'll be talking to you today about. One is hypertension, high blood pressure. The other one is high cholesterol or high lipids. Diabetes, then obesity, which is again a big threat coming up in the emerging scenario, and heart diseases. So these are diseases which actually, if you control your lifestyles, you can prevent. If they set in, the treatment would be very disastrous, very costly, very prolonged, lifelong. But if you can prevent, that would be the best. There's a syndrome called metabolic syndrome, called by the medical profession, which includes central obesity, which is actually very common in South India, high blood pressure, high triglyceride, that is one fraction of the cholesterol, then low cholesterol, HDL cholesterol. I will tell you about this good and bad cholesterol. The HDL cholesterol is supposed to be the good cholesterol. When that goes down and the triglyceride and other cholesterol go up, you have chance of developing heart disease. And then you have insulin resistance. Insulin is the hormone which prevents diabetes in your body, and it is produced in your body. But even if it is produced in adequate amounts, there are certain factors which will prevent the action of insulin in your body. And one of them is overweight. So insulin resistance. So how do we develop diseases? You look at the transport from ancient to modern, people were walking and walking those days, and now we are sitting in the car and driving, and most of the time sitting in the road because of road block also. So there's hardly any movement and you gain weight. And work, look at the work culture. People were doing manual labor. Now we are in front of the computer. The computer does everything for you. So you develop diseases like diabetes. Let us talk about diabetes first. There is a very high incidence prevalence of diabetes in the world. And as recently as last week, Lancet published an article about the emerging diabetes epidemic in the so-called BRIC countries, India, China, Brazil, and Russia. And this is the incidence, that is people with diabetes in millions. It is, at present in India is 31 million. By 2030 is supposed to go up to 79 billion in India. This is what the Lancet article last week said. Cost-effective interventions aimed at tackling obesity by improving diets and increasing physical activity could be usefully added to a package of measures designed to deal with chronic diseases in low-income and middle-income countries. That includes the BRIC countries as well. Now, India has been declared as the country with the largest number of diabetics in the world as of now. In 1995, it was 19.4 million people, and in 2025, it is expected to be 57.2 million population people. There is increasing prevalence of diabetes in South India as well. This is a study from the well-known Diabetes Center of Dr. Ramachandran in Chennai, and see the diabetes incidence. DM means diabetes mellitus, IGT means impaired glucose tolerance situation. That is a situation just before the onset of diabetes. In 1989, we had 13.5, and in 2000, we have 16.8 million in South India. That is one study. And this is a morbid obesity condition, and people operate to reduce weight. Look what we have around us. So this is an environment which will promote obesity and lifestyle diseases. And during the evolution of humans, also look at the Coca-Cola thing which is in the hand of the present day man. What are the problems obesity can produce? It can produce hypertension, it can produce the type 2 diabetes. There are two types of diabetes. One is the diabetes which affects the children, early onset of that's called type 1 disease. That is because of the deficiency of insulin. Type 2 diabetes is because of obesity and other factors. That affects the adult population. Obesity can also lead on to high lipids, that is cholesterol. It can produce cardiovascular, heart disease, gallbladder disease, which is very common nowadays. At one time it was thought that gallbladder disease in India was confined to the northern belt. Now we see a large number of complicated gallbladder problems, and we do a lot of operations in gallbladder disease in our state. Obesity, by virtue of its heaviness, gives a strain on your joints, and you have osteoarthritis, that is degeneration of the knee and hip joints. It can produce stroke. It can affect the blood supply to the brain and paralyze you. Then respiratory illnesses including sleep apnea, that is you wake up with breathlessness during sleep. Obese people find it difficult to lie down and sleep. They sit and try to sleep. And some cancers like gallbladder cancer can be caused by obesity. So a whole lot of diseases can be produced. And this is a prevalence of obesity in the male population around the globe. From 1975 to 2000, there is a steep increase in obesity all over the world, in Australia, in USA, in UK, in Netherlands. And look at East Germany, when they became sort of independent and their economic status improved, that the top blue line, there is a very steep increase in the obesity state in Eastern Germany. What about obesity in India? In Punjab, males 30% are obese, Kerala 24%, and in Goa 20%, and obesity in general affects the female population higher. The class